Today, we do a first run with Nike Pegasus 37. The Nike Pegasus 37. Completed my first run of these today, and I have to say, gets my thumbs up. It's a good shoe. It is a first impression, so who knows how I might feel about it after really logging in some distance on these 50 miles to 100 miles. Today's run was a 9-mile run at about a 9-minute pace. I guess those are my magic numbers, the 9s. But I did do some speed work in these shoes as well, where I picked up the paces closer to 7-minute miles, which I feel also demonstrated how this shoe might work on faster workouts. But focusing on slower workouts, because that's where I am right now, I'm really focusing on building up my aerobic base for in preparation for the Chicago Marathon. So my focus is really hitting distance and endurance versus just speed and quickness on my runs. So with that said, as an endurance shoe, I do like it. The React cushioning on the bottom of the shoe does remind me a lot of the Nike React Infinity runs, but I guess because there might be less material around the shoe, it just felt a bit nicer when I go fast. With Infinity runs, I felt when I try and go fast in those shoes, the shoe was fighting me in that speed. The shoe to me worked best when I was running slower and kind of just going at that jogging pace, not a comfortable pace, similar to today's run, which is like the 9 to 10 minute mile pace that I'm running at. However, going to this shoe, because this is what we're here for, I did do some of those sprints as mentioned earlier where I hit the faster 7-minute pace. To me, that is kind of my upper limit at the moment of what my fast speeds are. But in those, the shoe still felt really good when I wanted to go fast. I guess with the added air zoom unit up front, it helps create that cushion landing, but added responsiveness to want to go fast. So I feel like this shoe gives that a runner that versatility in the variety of workouts they might be doing when training for a race or just wanting to work out. So for a nice slower jog, recovery pace, an endurance run, these shoes do work well for that. It did work well for me today. And if you want to do more fartlek work or tempo runs or even just strides, these shoes also perform well for that thanks to the Nike Zoom Air Pod up front. In comparison to last year's model, the Nike Pegasus 36, it is a lot more cushioned. To me, I do prefer that feel. And as mentioned, if you ran in the Nike Infinity runs, it has that same cushion feeling when you're landing. Compared to the 36, which has a cushion foam, and similar to the Nike Pegasus 35s. I haven't ran in the Pegasus in the generation before that, so I can't really compare against those. But against the 35 and 36, those shoes have, I guess, a harder midsole, so when you're landing it feels a bit more responsiveness, but it doesn't give you that same cushion landing that you get with React. So with these shoes, I'm a huge fan of React. People say Boost is life, but to me, React is life. So with that said, having this React foam on the Pegasus 36 really just or Pegasus 37 redefines what the Pegasus lineup is for me. To me, previously Pegasus seemed more of a more specific shoe, even though it is something a lot of people viewed as a daily trainer. That Cushline foam didn't work out well for me. So to me, it was more of a specialty shoe where if I wanted to do a track workout and do some speed work with that shoe, I might use the Pegasus 36 for that kind of workout. But for an everyday run where I might go slow, I might go fast, I don't know, I just want to go out and run, these shoes feel better for that. Previously, I would use shoes like the Infinity Run as mentioned, but also the Adidas Ultra Boost PB. Those shoes were kind of my go-to all-around shoes. And when it came to speed work, I really picked up the Nike Zoom Fly series. The Zoom Fly Flyknit was one of my favorite shoes to run fast in. A lot of it is because of the carbon plate. But with these shoes, it's more versatile. So I might just keep these in my car just to have them in there for getting off work once I do return to work. I can actually just pick them up, and no matter what kind of workout I plan on doing, whether it's a speed work or a slower recovery work, I know the shoe will have that versatility to support that kind of workout. One thing to note about this upper actually is, as I was going for that longer distance run today, it did start to feel a little warmer than I'm used to. To me, my standard of upper materials is the Flyknit material, or I forget what Adidas calls theirs, but I think it's Prime Knit. But that material, it's like that sock-like feel. It's very thin, it's very light, it's very breathable. To me, that's my favorite shoe material to run in terms of the upper. But with this shoe, it's neither of those. While it does give a nice secure fit in your run, during my longer distances, it does start to feel a little warm. So next time I run these, I'll probably pick up a pair of thinner socks just to meet that comfort level. But going back to shoe comparisons, the other comparison I had been asked about is how does this shoe compare to the Nike Vaporfly Next Percent? And overall, you can't compare the two shoes, in my opinion. One is a racing shoe. This one is designed more as a daily trainer. One is $250. This one is $120. So two different markets, two different purposes, two different demographics. So it's like comparing a Honda Civic to a Ferrari. Two different cars. They'll both do well for driving, but what they're used for might perform differently based on what kind of driving you're doing. Same thing with these shoes. This is a good all-around trainer. The Vaporfly series is something I wouldn't use as a daily trainer. I would use it more towards those days where I want to go fast, and primarily focus on using those shoes where I want to race, because that's where I think the shoe really excels, is the speed and the distance and the racing experience. But yeah, all in all, it's a good shoe. Highly recommend them for now. We'll see if that changes after 50 miles. But yeah, if you're interested in hearing more about these shoes as I put in more miles in them, hit that subscribe button. I'll be releasing more content on these shoes as I get more experience in them and really generate a more experienced opinion about these shoes. Also, if you enjoyed this video, hit the like button. That helps in getting helps that YouTube algorithm, I guess, to get more viewership in here and help out my YouTube channel. But yeah, thanks for watching the Nike Pegasus 37.